Welcome back to my channel. We are going to continue installing the Airlift 3H system into my 2013 BMW. Today we're going to be mounting the compressor and the manifold into the trunk storage space. I started off making a cardboard template to fit into the storage space, and then went and got this aluminum E-panel from a sign shop. It's got 2 layers of aluminum on either side with a plastic insert, so it's very light. I trimmed it all to shape to fit into the storage compartment and mounted the blocks on here so that when I put the bolts through, they're not rubbing on the bottom of the storage space. So we're going to now take this, put the compressor and manifold on here, get it laid out, mark the holes, and we'll drill the holes and get started. Alright, here we go. As you just watched, we just mounted the manifold and the compressor to the board. Now let's put it in the car. Okay, let's put the cargo box back in here, run the wires through. Let's bring in our base. Fits nice. See, this is all fitting there nicely. Should be nice and snug so it's not going to be flopping around. Okay, we're going to do the ignition wire here. I found 126 on the fuse panel. Is the 125, sorry, is for the radio. I also did a check that it's on, and it's even on when the vehicle's off for 20 minutes. So once the vehicle's on, it will stay with the ignition power, and then 20 minutes after the car shuts off, it will shut the ignition wire off. I had to order a new connector, only because this one, if you can see, the prongs are not very long. So I ended up ordering another one, if you can see here, a longer one with longer prongs, because when I was trying to fit this in, it's not connecting. So actually I just jumped on Amazon and ordered a new one, and now it connects into the block. So it's held nice and firm, so we can connect the ignition power now. Okay, now we have ignition power. I'm going to leave the power connections right until the last. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the compressor wired up, I've got the manifold wired up. I also put the end fitting on the compressor end, as well as got the fittings onto the end of the tank, and also installed the water trap for the other side of the manifold end of the tank. When I was fitting this cover, I had noticed that the top of the compressor right here was actually keeping the cover from sitting flush. So what I did was I pressed down so that the compressor left some marks in the top of this cover, and then it's honeycomb, so I trimmed it out and took the filling out, so that now when you put this into the car, it now sits flush, as I will show you. Perfect. Nice and flush, nice and clean. It's going to be held there, and now we are going to get to putting in the tank and getting that installed and all bolted up. Okay, so let's get this laid out and marked. I closed the seats so that the tank would fit with the seats closed, as I do need to carry my kids around. Okay, we got some marks. Now we can pull the cover back up and mark out the holes and get the tank bolted down onto the cover. Okay, so now we have the tank all bolted down to the cover. One thing I would recommend doing is install the drain before you bolt it into the tank, or bolt the tank down to the floor, because I bolted it and realized I forgot to do the drain valve. So make sure you put the drain on first, and I've got the fittings on both sides. In the instructions, it is showing there is a connection from the compressor to the tank with a black line. I'm not sure how that is supposed to connect. I tried pushing the 3/8 line onto this fitting, but that is too big. So I think I need to get some air line that will connect the compressor to the tank and route nicely for that. So I think I'll just go to the local hardware store, pick up some black or maybe even red or colored airline anyway, and get that connected so I can get the compressor hooked to the tank. Thanks for watching this portion of the install. Now we've got the compressor, the manifold, and the tank installed. Next we're going to do the front and rear bags and start running the airlines to the four corners. Airlift, my sponsor that has sponsored me for this complete install, sent me an email this morning actually letting me know that the rear bags are on their way and they should be here tonight. A couple things with this install of the tank and the compressor. I did a lot of research online, and there's one of two things that you're going to need for doing this install, and that's either Loctite 565 or some Teflon tape. I actually did both. Some people on the forum said use Teflon tape, some people said 565, and some guys said use both. So sometimes I kind of overkill things, so I did both so that I'm not going to have any leaks, and hopefully this keeps with the longevity of the install and I'm not going to be fighting with it. I want to do this once, do it right, and then enjoy it. Just drive it, enjoy it, take it to shows, and show all you guys what life on air is like. Hey guys, just a quick update. I went to our Bavarian Brigade's 1-year anniversary photo session yesterday, and a bunch of guys from Outlaw YYC came out, and one of the guys is running an F30 on the same Airlift 3H system that I'm running. So I got to take a look at his system and how it was installed. He is running a dual compressor setup, but I think I'm just going to run the single for now just to see how it is. But they brought up a valid point. How I had my manifold mounted, the way that the 3/8 lines have to run, they have to have quite a circumference to fit into the manifold and not have any bends or kinks in the lines. So now that I know that, I actually went ahead and actually rerouted or moved the manifold so that it is turned sideways, so that now the airlines have lots of room to come out here. And then I was talking to one of my other buddies on Instagram, and he was mentioning to go to a local truck shop and have a line made. So I did some investigation and ended up going to Bumper here locally, and they made me a line so that I can run from the compressor to the tank and not have to worry about any other, fitting issues or anything else. So appreciate that, buddy. You should go and follow him on Instagram. He's my modded F30. I'll put his information on the screen, but go give him a follow and comment on some of his pics. He's got a beautiful F30 on bags as well. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Comment below if you have any questions, comments. I'll make sure I read them, respond, and peace out. Thanks for watching.